Hey, how you doing? This is Kevin O'Hara again for Habits Feed 2. In case you're wondering, I'm in Andorra. We're in Andorra for the next couple of months. So anyway, today, I think the biggest thing that you have to accept about the journey after you stop drinking alcohol is it's just not going to be a walk in the park, right? Now, I separate this job into two parts, this task that we've got. Number one, you stop the flow of the alcohol, and number two, you have to do the work to make sure that the alcohol thinking doesn't come back, that the alcohol part of it doesn't come back again, right? There's a part 3 for this, which is moving on, but that's a result. It's not really a part of the process. It's the end thing that you get to, and then after that you choose whatever you want in life, trying to get to the best possible version of yourself. So stopping drinking alcohol for me is a really simple decision. It's very simple for you to know what to do, and it's simple for you to follow through with these things. If you want to stop drinking alcohol, all you got to do is you stop putting the alcohol into your mouth, and that's it, end of story. The end of that story, at least. And as long as you don't put any more alcohol into your mouth, you've succeeded in doing your job, in doing the first job number one anyway. Think about it like if you've got a flood in your house, and the first thing you need to do before you do any cleanups, any reparations, is to turn off the water, right? That's the same thing we've got to do here. Now we get to part 2, which is the tough part, but the journey is about more than just stopping drinking, right? It's about creating a version of yourself that doesn't see alcohol drinking as an alternative in your own future, right? As long as alcohol drinking is an alternative, you've got a choice to stay not drinking or to go back to your drinking. If there's problems in your life, you've got a choice to go back and deal with those problems through alcohol. If there's a celebration and you don't feel like it today, you've got a choice. Whereas if you think to yourself, alcohol just doesn't play a part, no matter what happens in my life, alcohol is not playing a part in my life anymore, then you have no choice. And this was something I realized early on in my journey. Yes, I'd stopped drinking alcohol. Yes, I had no intentions of going back to alcohol, but I still had this 30-year-old habit that was hiding in the background, and it was still trying to influence my decisions. Looking for weaknesses in my resolve and really ready to pounce. And those weaknesses can be anything, really. For me, there would have been stress or anxiety, there would have been celebrations, tiredness after a really hard day's work. I was an arborist, tree surgeon in Ireland before I moved to Spain. And one of the weak spots for me when I was in Ireland was working away. So I'd have to travel around the country, stay in different B&Bs, and that brought really feelings of isolation, loneliness, and that really, drinking was a way out of that. Now, I'm not saying that I would have given in had I stopped drinking alcohol, had I gone back to those things, to any of these things. I didn't give in to any of the ones that were going through my mind when I stopped drinking alcohol in Spain, but they are weak links in the chain nonetheless. Now, this is all normal for anyone who stops drinking alcohol after a long time. It's normal that your habit is not beaten overnight. It's not beaten after 30 days. A lot of the pressure is off after 30 days, I'll give you that, but it's still there. I don't think it's even beaten after a few months. The habit pathways are still well ingrained into your mind. And these are scars from your past, right? They're evidence of the life that you recently lived, if you want to put it like that. So what that means, when those weak spots are put under pressure, it's kind of like a conflicting situation for you, right? Yeah, the journey you're on, where you want to be, where you want to go, but here it is, that old habit trying to reassert itself, whether it's through your thoughts or your feelings or your emotions. It doesn't really matter. It's all discomfort, right? And again, we have to come back to what discomfort you're going to choose. The discomfort of pushing on, refusing to give in, pressing down on the thoughts and feelings that you're going through at that moment, or the discomfort that's going to follow if you give in and you inevitably have to start all over again. So, think about what happens when these lingering shadows of your past, when they're triggered. When the pressure mounts on these weak spots, the foundations of your resolve are going to start to weaken, and it's like a battle of wills inside your head. On one side there's a vision of your future, what you're striving for, the life that you're nurturing, the life that you're trying to rebuild, and on the other side there's this ghost of your old self, and it's whispering lies of temporary relief, trying to revive the habits that you've worked so hard to bury, right? So, and whether the internal struggles, whether those surface as thoughts or feelings or emotions, it's all discomfort, and it's a tug of war. It's like an echo of your past that's kind of clashing with your present, and an internal conflict between the person you were and the person you want to be. At the same time, while all this turmoil is going on, there's still a choice to be made, right? A discomfort to be chosen. Do you choose the discomfort of persistence, of pushing onwards despite the resistance, of suppressing the temptation, and keeping making your way along that path towards the best version of yourself? Or do you choose the discomfort of surrender, of giving in to your urges? And in the end, after a temporary relief from the pressure, what then? What do you do then? You wake up with a horrible realization that you have to start over again, that you have to face the guilt and the disappointment of the fact that you surrendered to this defeat. And whenever you feel this way, you're at a crossroads with two paths ahead, and each path has got its ups and downs, like we talked about the other day with the roller coaster thinking. But remember, it's important to keep in mind that only one path is going to lead to that destination that you set out for, right? Towards more time, more energy, towards growth in your life, towards better health, better wealth, a life of clarity, health, inner peace. So you really have to choose wisely in this journey, right? And that's all these videos are about, trying to encourage you to get on that path and stay on that path, and start thinking what's best for you, what's best for your own life. So our beginner's guide is still free for the moment. It'll help you to really surf past a lot of this discomfort in the early days. So the links are in the description. Take good care of yourself, and I'll speak to you again soon. Onwards and upwards. Bye now.